Hello folks, welcome to my channel Java Demystified by SSR. Here comes the question number 26. What is interface in Java? Explain. Let's demystify this question. So in Java, we have a keyword called interface. Interfaces are implementation units of abstraction. Abstraction is one of the object-oriented programming principles. In order to implement abstraction, we have two concepts in Java. One is abstract class, another is interface. What is an interface? An interface is a reference type similar to a class that can contain only constants and method signatures. Reference interface is just like a class, but it contains only constants. Constants in Java are the final members, and it contains method signatures. Method signatures are nothing but method declarations. That means abstract methods. As an example, we have some predefined interfaces available in Java. Serializable interface, clonable interface, a remote interface. So these are all the interfaces which are predefined, available in several packages. And some of those interfaces are marker interfaces. As an example, the serializable and clonable are marker interfaces. That means these interfaces will not have any methods in it. They are just to intimate or tell JVM that particular classes which are actually implementing these interfaces can either be serialized or clonable. Yeah. So coming to the definition, in interface we have only method signatures. That means there are no method bodies. That means there are no implementations. And when we write a method, and the method name should be followed by a semicolon, but there are no braces. That means there is no body for that particular interface. It's just a method declaration. Like abstract classes, interfaces cannot be instantiated, but they can be used to refer to objects of their implementation classes. That means when you write an interface, you actually specify some functionalities. They are just like method signatures or method declarations. And that interface has to be implemented by some class. Now, this interface can actually refer to that particular class. So in order to do that, we have a keyword in Java that is called implements. We have a keyword called implements. A class, some class A implements some interface. Let's say some interface ATM. My interface name is ATM. Class A implements ATM. So now interfaces cannot be instantiated, but they can be used to refer to objects of their implementation classes. Now, an interface can actually refer to objects of type A. And there exists inheritance among the interfaces. So one interface can extend other interface. So all the methods declared in the interface are implicitly public. In fact, the methods will be public abstract because we don't have method bodies or implementations. They are abstract methods. But when you are specifying method in an interface, we need not to say it is an abstract. Implicitly, the methods are going to be public and they are going to be abstract. We just need to mention the return type of the method and the method name followed by a semicolon. An interface can contain constant declarations in addition to the method declarations. The constants are final members in Java. So we have a final modifier, it's a keyword, and there can be constants in an interface. So only constants and method signatures are there in interface. Let's now understand this interface concept with an example. Let's assume I have an interface called ATM. So public interface ATM. So you want to make it public, otherwise we can actually leave it, so it will become default or unspecified with a package scope. If it is public, from anywhere this interface can be accessed. So what are possible actually in an interface? We have final members. So because final members are constant, so constants will be written in capital case actually. So final double rate equal to some 3.5. Because it's a final member, we have to initialize that variable as well. But implicitly, this will be like final, it will be like public static final. Even though you are saying final double rate, or even you omit this final while you are writing your interface, it will be by default public static final. Whatever we declare a member, a data member, that is implicitly is going to be public static final. And we have method declarations. For example, void print. So void is the return type and print is the method name. So here by default it is going to be public public abstract void print. So like this is going to get replaced during the compilation. So once the compilation is done, the compiler actually assigns all these modifiers to that and it prepares the .class file. So here double rate will be public static final double rate, and which has some value that is 3.5. Okay, so implicitly all the members in an interface are public. The data members are public static final, that means they are going to be constants, and the methods are public abstract methods. So let's understand the uses of this interface. Why actually we need to have an interface? We know abstraction is exhibiting the essential features and hiding the background details. So in order to implement, we have interface. Through interface, we can actually achieve 100% of abstraction, because in interface we have all method signatures only, method declarations. So no method is implemented. That means we don't have any concrete method in an interface. So all the methods have to be implemented by some class. So here also realization relationship exists. A class has to implement an interface. Like a class is extending and providing the implementation for methods of an abstract class. Here a class has to implement interface and provide the implementation for all the abstract methods which are specified in the interface. Okay, let us assume now, let's understand this interface concept with an example. I have an interface called ATM, and we know what actually are the functionalities in an ATM, right? So one can actually withdraw amount from ATM, and one can actually transfer amount from ATM, and one can check balance from ATM, and there are a number of things. Okay, let us assume this is my interface. So in interface, we just specify the functionalities. Okay, so let's save this. An interface can be saved as .java. So I am saving this as atm.java, and it can be compiled. So .class file for that particular interface will be available now. So java c atm.java. So compiled successfully, I have a .class file. Now there exists some bank which is interested in having ATM. Now that bank has to implement this particular interface. So while implementing this interface, it has to provide the implementation details for all these methods. That's how one entity specifies the contract and another entity guarantees for implementation of that particular contract. So this relationship is a relationship. Let's assume there exists a bank. There exists a bank actually called SBI, which is actually wanted to have an ATM. So if at all it wanted to have an ATM, what should happen actually is it should implement all the functionalities of this particular ATM interface. So that means all these methods have to be implemented over here. So let's now see. Here I have the void withdraw. So now this has to be implemented, and this has to be implemented, and this method also has to be implemented. All the methods has to be implemented. And one more important thing is implicitly all the members in interface are public. So whenever we are implementing it, we have to ensure the same modifier over here. Otherwise we are going to get some compile time error, because even though you are not specifying, by default all the methods are public. So that means in interface will always have all the members as public. So let's write actually some implementation. So just write system.out.println. So whenever some withdrawal is taking place, we just say withdraw success. We just say withdraw success. This is the message we are printing whenever withdraw is happening. So let's take this and implement everywhere. So let's see. So when it is transfer, we say transfer success. So that means transfer of the money success. And yeah, so here balance is, so this is the method to check the balance. So balance is as follows something. So these are the implementations. Okay, so a class SBI wants to have ATM. So it is the responsibility of the class to provide implementation for all these methods. Okay, so it is the responsibility for that particular class to provide. So if it is not providing, what should happen is at least one method is not getting implemented. So this class should become an abstract class. That then there should exist some other class which should extend that abstract class and provide the implementation for the method which is not been implemented by this particular class SBI. That's how the things should go on. Okay, so now this SBI implements all these three methods, and SBI can have its own method as well. Okay, for example, there is a method, let us assume, so void disp. So void disp means it is a display method. So what actually happening here is it displays its bank name. Okay, so it says it is SBI. Okay, so this is SBI class own method, right? So it need not to be public. So if you want to make public, we can make, but it need not to be public. So this is this class specific method, SBI specific method. Okay, so the implementation is done. So now I want to make actually this class as executable class. I want to run this class, so I can actually have the main method written here. Otherwise I can write the main method in a separate class as well. Okay, so let's assume I am writing the main over here itself. So now I can create an object of SBI some S1 equals to a new SBI. So by using this S1, I can actually call all these methods. Withdraw method can be called, then S1 dot transfer method can be called. Yeah, then S1 dot check balance. And we can also call S1 dot disp method. Right, so all the four methods have been called with the object that has been created. Because it's an interface, ATM is an interface, we cannot instantiate it. So there exists some class that implements and provides the implementation for all the methods, and we can create an object of that. Okay, so now I'm done with this program. Let me save this. Your class name is SBI. Let me save this as SBI.java. Yeah, let me compile this. Java C SBI.java. Compile successfully and then run SBI. So we will get the implementation details of all the four methods. Now withdraw success, transfer success, balance is so and so, and it is SBI. Okay, so this is how an interface can be written, which specifies only the functionalities, and there exists some class which is interested in this particular interface or which is interested in these particular functionalities and implements. Okay, with the keyword implements, a class uses implements keyword and which implements all the methods. Now it is the responsibility of the class to provide implementation for all these methods. If it fails to provide giving implementation for at least one method, now this class should become abstract. Okay, so now, yeah, let's check other ways as well. So interfaces cannot be instantiated. Let's try creating an interface ATM, some A1 equals to new ATM. Let's check that particular fact actually. So now let me compile this. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create an instance for an interface. Is it possible? No, right? So ATM is abstract, cannot be instantiated. So ATM is abstract in the sense ATM is an interface type, it cannot be instantiated. Okay, so what can be done is ATM can actually refer to their child, their implementation class objects. So the implementation class object is SBI, and we can actually do like this: ATM A1 equals to new SBI. The object that is going to get created is SBI and which is referred by A1, which is of type ATM. This is possible. This is possible, and with A1, all these methods like withdraw method can be called, and then we have A1 dot transfer method that can be called, A1 dot transfer can be called actually. Yeah, so we can actually have A1 dot check balance as well. This method also can be called, but by using A1, can we call this method? No. So this method cannot be called with A1 because A1 is of type ATM, and in ATM we don't have any this method. Okay, so these three methods actually can be called because these are all part of interface. Okay, so ATM can be used to refer to objects of its implementation class. Let me test this. Java C SBI.java compiled successfully. When I say Java SBI, now I will have the 7 methods actually. So I will have 7 outcomes getting printed. So first 4 we have seen already, then withdraw success, transfer success, and balances. So this is how an interface is specified, and this is how a class actually implements interface and its methods. Okay,